Good morning. It's okay. I'm just gonna go grab some water. I just realized I'm gonna run out before we're
Sure.
done here, so I'll be right back. How's your morning going? I can still talk to you. I have my
Oh,
headphones.
it's been well, I went to go do my lab work this morning at 7 thinking I'll get in there super early because my doctor wanted it right
Ah,
away and I didn't want to make an appointment. I just wanted to go in. So
right?
it was going to be an hour wait. So I'm like, nope. So I'm going back at I think 11, somewhere around 11 so I can get that done. But I I said, I'm sorry, but I cannot be here if I need to be in a meeting. So
Yeah, wow, an hour. I mean, it was at 7 o'clock still.
I know
That's
I was
pretty
there at
packed.
7. I know. Sorry, I'm
Pretty
just
packed.
I'm going to do lab work, I guess.
Yeah. Friday morning, everybody's like, oh man, the
I
week's gone
know.
by.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, oh,
welcome.
one more book
All
here. I've got
right.
things everywhere.
So what
And
else?
I went to the bathroom to grab some, I don't know where my box of Kleenex is, so I went to grab some toilet paper just in case because I feel ugly cry is going to be a part of these things. So
Yeah,
I don't know what happened in the bathroom today, but I went in there and there was no toilet paper on the roll, but it was all piled. My husband must have taken it off the roll and just left it on the counter. So it was all ready for
hilarious.
me. Oh, listen, you two, don't be getting all sorry. I have my dogs here and I'm hoping they're not too much of an issue, but I have their controller here, so I can shut them up.
Their controller.
They get barky, so they have collars and I don't know if you can hear it. Can you hear that? And so there's a beep and then there's a buzz.
Okay,
There's a shocky one, but we don't really use that. We just use
gotcha.
the other ones. And so it really like even the buzz when they're not or like the beepy when they're not around and I need to know where they are. If I beep them, they'll just come to me.
That's cute. They're
Yeah.
trained.
Yeah. Oh
Well, welcome.
gosh.
Let's
Welcome.
arrive. And what I'd love to do today is I know we have our kind of questions that are your vision questions, but I'd like to just have you kind of arrive because I feel like you've kind of been flooded with a lot. And so I just kind of want you to arrive, see what shows up here, and we'll start from there. Um, I'm just pulling up. So I have you our general document, but I don't see. Oh, right. We didn't. I just had the background questions, and then we were just typing things into your document, I think.
Yeah, and I sent you a link to images of my journal. So
Okay. Is that in the
um,
drive?
I just shared it with you. I didn't put it in the drive because when I go, we didn't have a shared drive. I think you just shared documents with me if I for this part. So I just shared the
Yeah.
link with you. Once I know, I can just pop it over there so that, but if I have that shared, then when I populate it, it's populated for you. It's just,
Okay.
so
I see it. I see the folder. Okay. I'm gonna
I
open it.
haven't journaled today's yet because I was a little crazy.
Yeah. No kidding.
But I
All
did have
right.
a decent sleep last night, which is good.
Yeah. How was it? Did the medication help right away?
Yeah, actually, I'm back to hot flashes all morning though, but at least at nighttime, I didn't wake up with a hot flash at all last night. I slept. So
Oh,
I
that's
said it's so
exciting.
nice not to wake up. I said to my husband, it's so nice not to wake up exhausted, not from lack of sleep, but from trying to sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where's my pen go, Ringo? Here it is.
Okay. Here it is. Perfect. All right. So I've got it. And I'm just gonna take a quick peek. Do you mind if I just take a quick
You
scan? That
go
way,
right ahead. They're there
that
for
way,
you to, yeah.
we have a kind of a reference point and you're not just kind of explaining everything all over again. So let me just
No,
get to it. There it is.
no, you cannot have my toilet paper, Ringo. I have a feeling I'm going to need to do these at my desk because when I'm in my living room, they think that I'm here for them
Oh,
and it can be disruptive. And I don't want that. It's not as beneficial. Okay, I'm just turning my phone off. Sorry.
yeah, no problem.
Right off, not even on. There we go.
I love how you've jumped right into understand like the misunderstandings and the truths and just like
I
allowing
just
yourself.
ran with that. I found that that was a way for me to walk my way through my feeling. I've identified anything about what you've been doing and watching what you've done is that, and you took me through that, is that you said it's like a convincing yourself, it's like, well, here's the excuse, but here's the reality. Here's the excuse, but here's the reality, right?
Yeah, and so and that's just it. Like the misunderstanding creates space for you to sorry Dania, I'm wearing like this shirt that I haven't worn since before I was pregnant. It's too
I
tight.
can only see from here up. We're good.
Give me 2 seconds. It's just really
Okay.
like constricting me. I happen to have
Oh,
another shirt around the corner.
that's hilarious.
And it's like one of those like silky chiffon material, so it doesn't have
Yeah.
a lot of give. And if for
Yeah.
some reason it's really driving me insane.
Right.
That's funny. What a random thing to be bothered by, but there it
No, you know what? As women, we get it. And we
is.
have these things that are attached to our chest that literally, sorry, I'm just looking for something, literally change with hormones and life. And I'm just trying to find on my
Wow, it
computer.
didn't feel that tight. It didn't feel
What?
that tight, but it was like really constricting my chest. Like I was really quite more constricted than I thought.
Oh, there you go. No one wants a boa constrictor around them. Okay,
No.
there we go. There's my dog, one of them right there. You can see her.
So
She's
cute.
getting, she's getting coaching here too.
No kidding.
I went back and I watched your video last night and I was listening to what she had to say because she said, I don't know, but I feel like it's multiples. And then I said a docu-series.
Yeah, no, it's like so the universe has been guiding me very clearly. And it gets really loud when I need to pay attention.
Right. But she said August, man. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
that's
like,
what I was tuning into, right? So,
okay.
yeah. Um,
It was interesting because you talked about publishing, and I was going to tell you my friend Paula, she does publishing, and
oh,
she has
okay.
published many books through her company. And so, but you said you've already got one, so
Well, they haven't replied yet, so I'm still
okay.
open to exploring. So
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. So she has a company, what's it called? Be Bold, something or other. Anyway, so she's published, she does a lot of books like you're talking about with, but they're chapters people write and they contribute and they publish them. And so she does some, and sometimes people will be the person that does that, right? So
Right.
yeah, yeah. And I've proofed 3 of her books for her.
Nice.
So yeah.
That's cool. So I've just scanned a couple of the journals. And so what I'm picking up right away is that kind of like awareness of like giving yourself the space to really bring it up, which is interesting because when we first met, you were kind of like stuffing it down. So I love that it's just, it's like you've opened that space up for yourself. And so one thing I would love to start with today before we get into it all, because you've had such an awareness, we haven't gone through the vision questions yet, but I feel like you're in a really good place to make that contract with yourself of what this journey is about. Because you don't have to have the answers, you don't have to know what the end goal is. It's more about like, what are you committing to showing up to yourself for? And the reason I love to do the contract is because it's one thing to say, okay, I'm doing this journey, but it's another to say, I am committing to myself the XYZ journey. And so it's a lot more layered. It's a lot more engaged, I find. And so I would love for you to, so take a moment. I'm going to play some music and I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to walk you through a scan, a body
Okay.
scan. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get you to think about the things that show up for you and your awareness as we're thinking about this contract to self. And so we're really going to tune into your body and see what it has to tell us, because there's so much available to you right now. And we really want to tune into like what's urgent. So I want you to actually ask yourself this question out loud. What is something, or what is it that I need to get out of this journey, above and beyond my conscious awareness? What is it that I need to get from this journey above and beyond my conscious awareness? So if you can speak that out loud.
What did you say?
What do I need to get out of this
What do
journey?
I need to get out of this journey beyond my conscious awareness?
Okay. And
What
so I'm
do
gonna,
I need to
yeah, let me know when you're ready, and then we'll, yeah, keep asking yourself that question, and then
need to
I'm gonna start the body scan whenever you're ready. And let me know if you can't hear me above the music.
You just want me to say it when I'm ready?
No, no, I'm gonna take you through the
Oh,
scan. This is just
oh,
to
okay.
prime you to like
Okay.
dive in. So I'm gonna play the music. We're gonna do the body scan, and so question is to prime you, your unconscious, to welcome anything to show up. Okay, so we're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know when you can you hear the music.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you hear me okay above the music?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is this still good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna arrive here. We're gonna get you to take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And we're gonna do this 3 times. And this is a cleansing breath. So we're gonna bring in that love for self, that light that's in you. We're gonna welcome it to be filling your whole body. And we're gonna release anything that is getting in the way of you connecting with your wisdom right now in this moment. So again, another deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as we do this body scan, we are going to breathe in through the nose, but we're also going to breathe out through the nose. And we're going to do it nice and deep. And imagine, let's practice it a couple times. We're going to count to 4. Take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And out through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. And out through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the pace we want to bring to the in and out breaths as we scan your body. We're going to start at the crown of your head. And we're just going to imagine the topmost point on the top of your head, like you're cracking an egg and it's melting down the top of your head. And this is how your awareness is just flowing down your body. So your head, Notice inside and outside. Are there any areas of contraction or expansion, or any areas that your awareness is drawn to? And keep moving down.
Right here.
Okay, perfect. Just keep noticing, because we're going to keep scanning downwards. You're going to notice what's happening behind your eyes, on the outside, on the inside, down your face. Notice your cheekbones. Notice your nose. Notice your lips. Keep going down your jaw. Notice your neck, just kind of that melting feeling right underneath your chin, underneath down your throat, down the back of your neck, down the sides of your neck, and melting into your shoulders, that awareness. Just notice again where your mind is drawn to, any areas of tightness, expansion, contraction. Keep moving down your shoulders and keep moving down your arms. Notice your chest and your back, right under your armpit area, just everywhere in that kind of like a cylinder. Notice anything that is showing up. And if there are thoughts or words, hold on to those, just notice them. We're going to come back to them. Keep moving down your torso, past your belly button. And take as long as you need to, just to notice what's happening. And keep going below your belly button, into your top of your hips, and down your legs. Just feel it just melting down your thighs. Notice your knees whenever you get there. And again, notice if there's any shapes, colors, thoughts, awarenesses that are wanting your attention. We're just gonna notice them and come back. We're going to keep going down the back of your legs, your calves, the shin area. Notice your ankles, your feet, the tops, the sides, the back, the bottom. And notice your toes. And what happens when you are aware of the ground beneath you? Imagine your body keeps anchoring into the ground. Is there any other awarenesses or things that grab your attention? Wonderful. Excellent. How are you feeling?
Good.
Okay. So what did you notice as you did your scan?
Two things. So I have this feeling that's here, and I often get this. And sorry, it feels like freezing from the dentist, like a numbness. And it was interesting because I often have a feeling like I'm stuck. And so then the color that came to me was not like white or gray, but that frozen ice color, right? Just like that. And then when we moved further down, we got to my ankle and my foot. So I've been fighting with plantar fasciitis in one of my feet. I feel like I'm old and I'm having health issues, but it's like that understanding of knowing what plantar fasciitis and how it happens is a tendon that's constricted and not allowed to flex.
So notice that. Okay.
Because
So
I truly believe in that what's happening here is happening out there.
yeah, so notice that. Notice yourself, and what awareness comes up as you kind of notice that in the spectrum of your entire body, The top and the bottom are completely constricted.
Oh, I didn't put that together. It's interesting because ice is really hard and not pliable. And when you have something else that's pulling inwards and not being allowed to expand and do what it needs to do to move, neither one of them allowed to have the movement it needs. Like water is fluid.
That's a huge awareness, Dania. Like the image of ice is very clear for you, right?
Yeah.
And then to compare that to the fluidity of water is that awareness that like you have this natural state of being in your person, but right now you're living in this other
Altered.
phase of the same material. So that's, do you see how the power of the body,
Yeah.
you can't get that by like digging into your brain. This is, this is the power of the way our minds and bodies work. Um it's like our body speaks to us in images, words, thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is how your body is telling you, I am not able to move freely.
And I think I felt that way my whole life. I have always felt like my true self. I think because I was a child who went through a lot of bullying and rejection, that to truly just show up as me will end in pain, will end in rejection, humiliation, being put on a pedestal to be made fun of.
Wow.
So I keep myself very constrained, very controlled, very um, etiquette driven. I think, like
Proper.
conforming conforming to my atmosphere to be what type of personality you would assume would be in that space.
So knowing that and having that awareness of how that's showing up, something that is very evident to me. And I want to ask you one more thing before I say this. That throat clearing,
Yeah,
have you been clearing your throat at all? Or was that just now?
that just was something with coffee. That was just, yeah.
Okay,
Since
but
because since like I got sick last fall, and since then I have had quite a bit. So
right, but this morning, like you haven't had
not this
anything,
morning. That was the
just
first time this morning.
and notice how it was right when you were about to speak what you were noticing.
Right. Yeah. Keeping me from speaking my truth.
You were about to speak all of your awareness in complete vulnerability.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait, do we want to do that?
Interesting. Because it
Yeah.
feels so unattached to what I'm feeling, but it is.
So I'm going to ask you, what was happening last fall when you got sick?
This is the big one. So we all know the world has a lot of different things that people are venturing out to um, try for themselves, figure themselves out. And I've grown up in a world, um, and I do have my deep belief and conviction, and not in a hateful way. Okay, I just need to preface that. And so we have some things happening in our family that are challenging. So last year I was going really hard working, but then um, my daughter, who we've been quite close, she had a new boyfriend and she didn't want to share much with me. And um, I just thought, okay, they're at that age where they just want to vet people before they bring them in the family because it's painful when they're not around. And I get that. But she blamed it on me, like, and said, well, my last relationship, who is the father of her child, and everything we did have flags about became reality. Um, I, she said that didn't work. You didn't handle that very well, and so made it feel like it was she was keeping him away because of us. And so, um, I I thought, okay, whatever. But they were going to come for Christmas and we were going to meet him at Christmas. And I was so incredibly excited and um, was planning on Christmas pajamas for everybody, matching jammies for Christmas Eve to Christmas morning. But I'd never seen this guy. I hadn't even, I could have gone and looked him up on Facebook and stuff, but I was very much honoring what base she was in, and letting her bring that to us. So I texted her and I said, what size is he? So I can buy pajamas. And she was working. And so her job, she's a hairstylist, so she doesn't have opportunity to just pick up her phone. And so I thought, well, okay, I'm just gonna go on Facebook and look. So I got on her page and I thought, that's weird. I can't really see a whole lot on her Facebook page. And then I popped over to his, and there was all these pictures of him and her and my granddaughter and then some other person. And I was like, okay, maybe that's a cousin, a sister. And I'm reading and it didn't seem like that. And there was several pictures of the three of them together. And then I saw one and it was a comment, and they had been at a wedding, and it was like he said, I'm so happy to be in this space with both the loves of my life. So you can imagine as a parent where that goes. And so it didn't sit right. But I was in a space and I was trying to do my stuff, and I just kind of did my thing and took a guess, and I still bought stuff. And I just thought it was very odd. And so I came home and I was sitting in my driveway in my car, and I was like, this doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. And I really noticed that my access to my daughter's profile was completely locked down, which I get if you're at odds with each other and there was nothing like that. And I jokingly said in a text message to her while I was at the mall, I said, well, there's a lot of pictures on his profile that I've never seen before. And I left it at that. And I really hadn't clued in yet. But I am a very intuitive person, and I pick up on things that are not, I can read between lines pretty good, right? And I came home and I said to my husband, what do you think of this? And he said, stop reading into things. It's probably just a cousin, a friend, whatever, and I'm like, I don't think so. So I called my sister and I said, can I show you something and tell me what you think? She goes, just tell me what it is, because I probably already know. And I went, my heart just sunk, because I'm sure you can anticipate where I'm going with this. And She said she'd found out, and that was a night she had tried to call me. We were away, and she was completely wasted, and she was talking about stuff. And um, so come to find out, my daughter has decided she wants to explore polyamorous relationships as a bisexual woman, which is very hard for me, very challenging for me. And understanding, regardless of my convictions and my beliefs and my desires and hopes for people, they still have a free will to choose their own, and it doesn't necessarily damage me or who I am. So in the meantime, my daughter, who thinks, oh shit, I've just been caught, but I didn't even really put it all together yet, writes to me and says, well, if you want to talk about this tonight, we can. And I'm still putting pieces together, but she's thinking I know everything. And um, it was very challenging for me because she all of a sudden flipped to a different person. And
Can you clarify something? When you say she flipped to a different person, do you mean the way she was interacting with you or
yes,
just her
yes,
life? Okay.
no, her interactions with me, she became very removed. She didn't want to talk to me, and not talking to me and telling me what's going on and leaving me with pieces is probably the biggest torture for me in my life. Understanding and calling the pain and getting it, addressing it is so different for me. It it's painful, it's hard, but I would much rather deal with that than sitting there telling myself stories. I'm a very good storyteller to myself. I can tell myself a whole life if I wanted to in my head. And so it was very challenging. And it just whipped me into a place because my children don't know some things about their father. And I don't ever want to be the one to tell them because it's not my place to destroy the image of their father. And it's one of the things that caused our breakup. So my ex-husband, when I met him, I was very young. I was in grade 12. We got engaged the year after. He was from where I lived. He was 4 years older than me. I met him at Bible camp. He was a counselor. I was 15 and I was almost 16, but he was 20. We didn't date right away. It was like I think a year and a half before, 2 years before I reconnected with him. We met, didn't connect, then, anyways. And so he had moved away. So I didn't get to see him on a daily basis. We had a long distance relationship for a year and a half till we got married. And after we got married, I was not even quite 19 when I got married. Very young, growing up in a very sheltered Christian life. And on the third night of our wedding, of our marriage, we were in a hotel. And I woke up in the middle of the night to him watching TV. And I couldn't figure out what it was. And I was like, I could hear noise. I was just like, I don't even understand. And then it all kind of came clear to me that this was like a full on blown video of the intercourse action happening right there, right at the spot. And I was like, I had no idea. And I'd been through some abuses in my past, so it didn't make me feel very good. And I was just shocked. And from there, a different part of this man that I thought I knew and had committed my whole life to became very evident that he had a massive addiction to pornography. And it was awful. 18 years of being married to feeling like I was just trying to live out his fantasies of what he saw. So you can only imagine, first of all, and then 3 years into my marriage, he was just so, I was pregnant with my second daughter. I was just, he was acting so odd. I just didn't know what was going on. And then it came out and he told me that when he was like 17 or 18 or 19 or whatever, somewhere around not feeling free enough to go and do things for himself, he exchanged sexual favors with a man to get pornography. So my children don't know that. My children don't know that about their dad. They know he had a pornography issue because all of them were exposed to it. All of them have been victims of innocent exposure of his stuff. But none of them know this part about their dad. And I was sworn to secrecy for the longest time. He didn't want anybody to know. He felt shameful or whatever. And so all of that was such a trauma to me. I knew it was struggles, but I didn't understand what the trauma really was. So when my daughter, and then we also have another issue with my granddaughter that's struggling with her gender identity. And these things to me, I literally flipped out, like PTSD, flip out. The day that I found out was the day of my husband's Christmas party for work. I was a mess. I had to try and kind of put it away and be present for his party. And the next morning, I was in the shower at the hotel where we were, and I just lost it. I thought, I can't feel this anymore. Nobody else knows this. Nobody else knows this. And I just turned the water on as hot as I could. And I said, I just don't want to feel anything but something else. Like, I don't want to feel what I feel inside. And I sat in the shower and cried. Oh, my skin was burning for probably 30 minutes before my husband came in. I just, I just like went somewhere else. So started to get sick after that. My body just shut down. I'd been working so hard. How could I manage that? And all my mental state, my daughter won't talk to me. I don't know what's going on. My body's saying this is just so much. It can filth inside of me that I don't know how to manage. And I deal with so much anxiety in my life. I have a lot of anxiety from different things and how I process things. And so a lot of that just makes it so almost impossible at times to function. So trying to manage that, I got sick really bad. I got better. I got sick again. And then on Boxing Day, I got shingles. So I was pretty much out of it from November, and I got better enough just to go on vacation for like 10 days. I was better enough to go away. Thank goodness. So then I got shingles, which is like the most pain you could ever have. But all that, I did have a conversation with my daughter. Do I feel like she's in the right space? No. Do I feel, I was really happy for this guy that makes her feel happy, but I do have a lot of concerns because he's so similar to her last serious boyfriend. And yeah, but that's a whole different word. But I started to go, why can't I go through this? Why can't I process this? Why is it so hard for me? And all I heard was, I spent 17 years trying to protect my children from a world that is so damaging to them with abuse of the type of, pornography things and the things that are so fantasy oriented that are so damaging to people. Because as a person who lived on the other side, there's pain when you don't even know what's going on. You sense it, you know it, you never feel fulfilled, you feel used. And so when I said that to myself, I realized how much trauma that actually had on me from my marriage. And I started Googling like trauma attachments and trauma. I forget what the word it is, but it's this real thing that people have to go through, and it's like, oh, betrayal trauma. That's what it is. You know, like I could go forever telling you how many nights I would wake up and my ex-husband would be laying on the floor at the end of our bed watching a pornography show while I was sleeping, jacking off. Like that was like a regular thing in my world. People coming to me and telling me, I saw your husband. He was like down in the store, in a small community of 5,000 people where we lived when we were first married, looking at Playboys and stuff. And I was like, why are you talking to me? Go talk to him. Like, don't tell me. Go talk to him. If you think it's wrong, go talk to him, and then people like my sister-in-law coming out to me and telling me, yeah, I walked into him when she was staying with us before she got married to my brother because she's from England. And she walked in, I don't know, after she came home late one night with him and found my ex, and he was jacking off in the living room to a movie. Like this is things that I never knew until after I was divorced. And so the trauma of just all that stuff, so big, and what I don't want for my kids. But it doesn't matter how much I don't want, they still have to walk their journey.
So
And
I'm going to invite you
I,
to take a deep breath right now. Take a deep breath right now. And just notice all the awareness. And the reason I'm pausing you here is you're about to turn towards them, and I want you to stay with you. Okay? Great. Whatever you want for them, great. Right now, this is about Dania.
okay, thank you.
And that's why I'm pausing you right there. And I want you to take a nice deep breath and just, first of all, you have so much to be proud of yourself for right now, for speaking all the things that you have not spoken probably all at once in a long time, if at all. So I want you to notice how you are honoring you right now.
It was tough because in the back of my head, the voice is going, you cannot speak this on a recorded channel.
Yeah. And we'll get into that thought and all of the things in a second, but right now I just want you to notice all of this. I wouldn't be surprised if the shingles was a way of your body distracting the pain that you were feeling inside
Oh,
and
for sure.
externalizing it.
My doctor said to me, okay, I know you deal with a lot of anxiety and stress, but how stressed have you been? Because that's generally, shingles is a manifestation of stress in our body.
So, and even the clearing right now of your throat while you were about to speak something that was real and true, your body's both trying to protect you and both trying to alert you at the same time.
Sorry.
No, no need to apologize.
I didn't think, oh, today was going this way.
Welcome to the deep work. The body does not lie. And so, and we're going to process some of this stuff in a bit, but I want you to notice what has not been working in your entire life up until now, whether that's external circumstances or internal understanding of what you needed to do. Because this is about the contract with yourself and how you're committing to showing up, especially with that voice in your head that's going to keep telling you, don't say it, keep it stuffed down, not, this isn't, no, don't. So just take a nice deep breath. You're going to ground yourself into this space just to bring you to this space, because that was a lot to kind of journey through again. So just feel the couch under your bum. Feel how the cushion is supporting you. Feel how the space around you is holding you. It is keeping you right here, right now, helping you sit up. Yeah. Notice how everything is here to support you right in this moment. You are being held by everything around you, and even what feels like there's like that space that doesn't have anything, it's holding you here. It's keeping you upright, it's keeping you present. How are you feeling right
See,
now?
see this red, blurry kind of thing with a black center.
Okay. Is there any emotion attached to it?
I think I'm angry.
Okay.
I'm angry because I feel like I have this truth that I'm supposed to speak, but I'm so afraid of rocking the boat. And that my mom is very opinionated, right? My mom is very assertive in her opinion, and she doesn't have much of a filter between here and here. And so she says a lot of things, and I never want to be like that. Although she's incredibly wise, you know? And I know that there's a lot of things that I need to share out into the world. But if I share some of those things that just happened to me to others who actually are always, are dealing with them, though, our world doesn't accept it. But people are in pain.
Right.
People are in pain. And, I tell my husband and my sister, she knows this stuff, obviously, but when people are going through it, what our world has in this exploration of themselves and gender and all this woke stuff that is out there, regardless, I just want to say, take right or wrong off the table. That's not about it. It's not about that. It's about when your family, and so you and I know there are such a deep connection between people, heart to heart, strings to strings. We know this. And so I think some people feel this harder than others, is that your children, you said this before, how you're, coming to that realization that he's you, but he's not, right? And so when your children and everything, I don't care who you are, you have a child from the moment you conceive even the possibility of having them, you've seen their future. You've seen what you think that their life should be full and happy, and you want them to succeed, and you want them to have a good life. And yet we have the things that are happening to us today, and the choices that people are taking and choosing, and they throw them back onto our families who have had ideas or things, and there's a grief that happens. And that is not being allowed to be processed. Because if you do, you're wrong, you're homophobic, you're this, you're that, you're unaccepting, you don't love them. And there's such an attachment with, I may not agree with you, but I love you. You know what I'm saying? And that the world is saying, or at least from my perspective, saying, unless you completely embrace that whole piece, you don't love. And I say, my love hurts so much. And if I didn't care, I wouldn't care. And and I know there are many, many, many other people out there who feel just like I do and cannot talk because of that. They don't get to talk because the backlash or the fear of losing their children or whatever it might be. And we're destroying families. Our society is muzzling people. And I walking this journey, and there's no ability to reach and support these people because it's an underground community that you have to suffer in silence. And it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what their choices are ongoing, these people still have to be supported and helped.
So notice that, but would you be prepared to speak it, even if it was acceptable?
Yeah, I would, because I love to help people. I love to people to know that they're not alone, that just because you hurt doesn't mean you have to die silently and you have to die, right? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah. So we're going to bring it back to you. And because it's one thing to have that awareness of that desire.
Yeah.
So noticing all this stuff that's showing up, you're feeling anger that you're not allowing yourself to express. And then you're also feeling that stuckness that's not just with you, but with the world
Yeah.
around you because, of the perception of things and not everybody is as eloquent as you in terms of being able to speak it without throwing everybody else under the bus. So what is your commitment to yourself in this journey?
When you first asked that question and we were doing the body scan and I was sitting there in that space, I know there's something I have to, I don't know whether it's write on paper or record. In some way, it needs to be recorded
Mm-hmm.
so that it helps people far beyond my life.
Right.
What came to me is the book, um, How to Win Friends and Influence People, that type of a legacy.
Right.
Whereas it's timeless. That's what I want to commit to myself, that I get to speak my truth. I get to put it somewhere so that it's not just all like, I feel like it's all just like, like cells multiplying and how they get bigger and then they burst, right? That's what's happening into me, and it's just getting bigger and bigger over the years, and I don't know how much more I can contain it, but it has to be done in the right way.
So what I've got from this is create a documentation of my experience to create a legacy that's timeless. speak my truth, honor my experience. Is there something else, some other way you would like to show up for yourself here in this space?
Yeah, that I'm not afraid to be me.
Okay.
I don't want to live in fear anymore of just when I show up that people are like, oh God, there's that woman, you know?
All right.
And even if I am, I don't want to care
Right.
because we don't have control of other people's opinions and judgments. But I want to get to a place where I'm not so afraid of how people will perceive me that I can just be. I feel like I'm such a prisoner to my fears and thoughts of what other people think and perceptions of me, and I don't even know what they are.
Right. Okay. That's beautiful. So take a nice deep breath. And we're going to try 2 compassionate self-forgivenesses. And just because of the time, I'm going to get
Yeah,
you to do this as homework. Show up whatever judgments you have about this journey and actually doing things that we just documented on this contract with yourself, working on those. So I forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding,
forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding,
that I have to confine myself and who I am.
that I have to confine myself as who I
The truth is,
truth is.
I get to express and be me in my
I
full
get to
experience.
express to me and be me in my full experience.
And the truth is,
The truth is,
I get to be different than everybody else.
I get to be different than everybody else.
And the truth is,
And the truth is,
I get to love in the way that I need to love.
I get to love in the way that I need to love.
I'm going to do one more. I forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding,
I forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding
that I have to hide.
that I have to hide.
The truth is,
The truth is,
I am strong and resilient enough to handle whatever comes my way.
the truth is that I am strong enough and resilient enough to handle whatever comes.
It's a big one, right?
Especially when you felt like you were in a place that you could just break.
And the truth is,
The truth is,
I am more than my experiences, my emotions, and my thoughts.
I am more than my experiences, my emotions, and my thoughts.
Take a nice deep breath there. We're going to do another one with a bit of release. And when
Can't
you
breathe
breathe
through my
out,
nose anymore, so
that's okay. And just as you breathe out, breathe out really slowly. Okay. Great work today, Dania. What you've just done is so powerful. I know it feels like we haven't really processed, we've just brought up a lot, but this is powerful because it's no longer hidden, it's no longer stuff. You had zero intention of telling me any of this
oh,
in
zero.
our work
It
today.
was so far off my radar for today.
But this is what your body is saying needs to come up. And this is the power of this work is like you can have an agenda, but the truth of what is happening within you is what is going to show up.
So true. So true. It's
This is good.
interesting. My doctor told me a long time ago because we have lots of conversations about my anxiety and my stress and things that have happened with my children because she's their doctor as well as mine. And she told me a couple of years ago I need to have intense psychotherapy to get to the bottom of my stuff. And somewhere during this past week in my journaling and stuff, that conversation resurfaced from her. So,
That's good because yes, this is normally stuff you would deal with in therapy. Um,
but
and
it's
if
this,
you're
it's the healing. It's, I could talk about this stuff in therapy till I'm blue in the face, but
but this is
it's,
different.
it's the healing that I need, not the talk about it.
Yeah. All right. I would love to give you more time today, but
No,
I do have another appointment. Um, so I've got to run. But you have done amazing work. And so I want you to send me what I would love to do is put these contract points into a document in Canva with your
yeah,
favorite colors, your favorite shapes. So you can either create it yourself or you can send me your favorite colors and shapes and I will create something for you. I'm more than happy to do it for you, or you're welcome to do it yourself. And think of, is there anything else you want to include in this contract? Because this is going to be the backdrop of this document.
I don't think there is because it's pretty all encompassing of what I feel in my life. I have something to do and I need to do it.
Okay, wonderful. So think about that. If you would love to have me do it for you, or if you want to do it yourself, I'm good
I'd
either
love to
way.
see what you do for me and not my ideas. I want to I would
Okay.
love to see what you see from the outside. How's that? Does that make
Okay,
sense?
perfect, perfect. So send me some colors. If you have some colors, it could be some like something from a picture or
I
something
already have it.
online.
I already have it. I would just pulled it up yesterday. I already have it. It's done.
Okay, send it to me. Send it to me in an email and I'll create this out of this document and you'll have that and I want you to print it and put it up somewhere where you're going to see this
Yeah.
or in your journal or something. And then we'll also do like a transparency version for the backdrop of this document. Okay,
All right.
great work today.
You're amazing. Okay. Have
We'll
a
talk
good day.
soon. All
Okay,
right,
bye-bye.
bye.